Nobody is ready for this next move for ZBCN, which I believe it is going to absolutely explode and blow everyone's mind sometime soon. In this video, we're going to be speaking about the recent price action, the recent FUD, more news about ZBCN, massive news regarding bullish momentum, and we're just going to be doing some technical analysis regarding that and how we can trade it short term if need to do so. If you guys enjoy these types of videos about ZBCN or other projects that are very similar, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, join my free Telegram in the links down below in the description. We have a massive community of like-minded individuals that doesn't cost you anything to join the free Telegram. So just come over and say hi, and we talk about projects before we mention them here on YouTube to be early. Now, with regards to ZBCN and the price action, let's look at the last week. It hasn't been pretty at all. And as per usual, this comes with a lot of FUD, right? So as soon as the price starts going down, no matter how much it goes up, even if it went up 10, 50x, if it comes down even 20 or 30%, there's going to be a lot of misinformation, spread FUD, whatever it may be, right? So there's been a lot of FUD going on about the CEO of Zebec Network. Nothing really that has legitimate claims that I've seen, right? So I've looked into it. So I'm just kind of going to leave that out for a second, because as we do know, guys, what major project that has ended up becoming super successful hasn't had massive FUD? We've seen massive FUD with Bitcoin. We all know the whole regulation FUD, the China FUD, just constant things. Oh, it's used for black market purchases, whatever it may be, right? Just complete FUD. And then there's the FUD about Ethereum. It's not good enough. Oh, it's centralized. And then it doesn't stop, guys. Solana, even, you can talk about the network congestion and how it's centralized. Like, whatever it may be, there's just been so much FUD about every top crypto project. So what I like to tell people, if you truly do believe in a project and you think it's going the right way, make sure you do stick by it and stick to your guns, because a lot of people get shaken out, sell their bags early, that they know they have a good project on their hands, and they end up selling their bags just because of some FUD. And that's probably what's happened here. A lot of newer investors probably got shaken out. A lot of people are buying up, right? Let's get into the hourly time frame on ZBCN and where I think we are at the moment and how well we're doing. Every candlestick, little candlestick, represents 1 hour of price action movement. We were talking about in the previous video how this 0.0058 level was a key level to hold, and we did not hold that. And like I said, we were going to fall down, and we absolutely did. We went down so much. A lot of people were like, what's going on with ZBCN? Because obviously when you're at 0.007 and one time you're at 0.004, people were wondering what's happened to the project. It's a considerable crash, right? It's almost 50%. But now we've reached some form of stability. The project's coming back, right? A lot of people have calmed down with regards to the price action, but we're wondering when the next move to the upside is. That's all everyone's wondering, right? You're in it for the money, right? At the end of the day, you're investing in the cryptocurrency to have a very high potential chance of 10, 50, 100x in your money. That's what you're here for. You're not getting into these types of projects because you want those slow Bitcoin, Ethereum gains. You are trying to hit the next biggest thing, and I believe ZBCN is a good go at that. And we'll be talking about the news of why it's so bullish as well. There's some nice news to go over in a second. We lost this 0.0058 level, which was a key level, because like I said, we found a lot of support at this level previously, right? A lot of price action support supporting this. So historically, a lot of people, like I say in my videos, say TA doesn't matter, but when you actually do analyze price action movements, whether it's completely psychological or it actually plays out in reality, like it's practical, it doesn't really matter, because this is the truth, guys. And like I said, we would find the next level of support. Like I said, we fell off a cliff at this 0.004 mark. That's where we found the support, because we do know historically we found support there as well. The key thing we need to do with ZBCN in the somewhat short term, and I'm talking within a couple or a few weeks, perhaps even a month, we do need to reclaim this level of 0.0058, which is kind of like the 0.006 mark, right? Because what we do want to do is start using this as support rather than resistance now, because I believe if we start trending upwards again and we break this 0.0052 level, we're going to find 0.0058, that level we're talking about, very, very quickly. However, that's going to be the next level we find a lot of resistance at, because obviously the price action has supported this. And once we bounce off that level, we'll be able to go long on ZBCN again. So I wouldn't take any short-term trade regarding ZBCN until we find that level, these key levels, as support again, right? So I think we're absolutely off to the races if that happens. And that's why I absolutely love this chart formation at the moment. Like I said, we did have that little bit of a sneaky Bart Simpson charting pattern there, and that's typically bearish. And I said, if we lost that 0.0058 mark, we're going to go way down, and we did. And we did find support at that exact level that we had before. So guys, you can actually really use TA to completely benefit you. And like I said, this is obviously key major support level that we have left. And we bounced off it again over here on the 6th of June, 1 o'clock. You know, if we do lose that level, it's going to be very ugly for ZBCN. But I said in the other video as well, I don't think it's likely that we lose that level because there's so much bullish momentum and news coming out for ZBCN, which I'm going to cover right now. Let's get right into the news. Find out what's the biggest thing missing in crypto. A great breakdown from Martin on our recent spaces with Uphold Inc. We can see how many tokens a project holds, but what about their liabilities? Off-chain loans and hidden obligations remain a blind spot. It's time for real transparency balanced with a practical, industry friendly, and it goes on, right? So that's the thing, guys. Obviously, Zebec Network with ties to Uphold and having spaces with them and everything like that. Absolutely massive news with ZBCN moving forward in the space, right? So this is actually extremely important as well. Off-chain loans and hidden obligations remain a blind spot. So this is a massive hole in the financial system as we know it, and they're trying to absolutely make everything more transparent using blockchain, obviously, because you can't really lie on blockchain, right? Actually, you can't even lie at all. That's the thing about blockchain technology and why it's so important. So you either have it or you don't on chain, and that's the reality of the situation. So I think that's massive news there. Next bit of news. Zebec Network has acquired GateKnox, bringing native KYC, KYB, and anti-money laundering directly into our infrastructure to enhance Zebec AI's existing real-time screening, built to serve the evolving needs of Web3 and traditional finance. So like we said, guys, as well before, all these kind of compliances that they're going to be adhering to, like the KYC, the know your customer, and anti-money laundering thing, this is a massive thing in financial systems that's completely taken so seriously, right? So there's banks and all these exchanges that have to comply with this. So when they're doing this themselves and they're adhering to all these kind of compliance things that they have to, you know, they're doing things in the real corporate world and becoming a legitimate business or brand or changing the financial system as we know it, like we like to say about Zebec. So they're doing things really well, in my opinion. So they're progressing really well. So this is the thing we like about ZBCN, guys, this whole real world utility kind of corporate vibe, and we're getting in nice and early because these kind of blue chip type of coins, I know you can kind of see it as a kind of cabal release, right? Like it's a bit centralized, like with the ownership and everything. But these are great projects to get into nice and early because they're going to be backed by people with money. They have ties to people that are in charge of exchanges. They have the liquidity to provide for the project initially. So they're going to keep on investing and building the project. See, whereas, yes, we talk about these 100x meme coins on the channel. People love them, and I will be doing my next video on a gem. That's what I'm going to try and do. The reality is, guys, you got to have projects that you know people are going to inject money into and keep on building on top of, rather than just blindly thinking this is going 100x and there's no real actual reason for that happening. So yeah, massive important news in my opinion, guys, and there's so much more news previously that we've covered. You guys can go check it out on Zebec Network's X account. So guys, as we know, on the daily time frame, we covered this last video, Zebec Network's looking absolutely beautiful on the daily time frame. It doesn't really get any better than this, to be honest. If you're someone who's looking at a very, very strong crypto project, keep in mind this has been happening while the market hasn't particularly been doing well. And the thing is, for a lot of this negative price action movement, a lot of it is obviously attributed to the run up. So people taking profits, simple as that. But then the next bit of drop off was actually attributed to the market going down in general, guys. It wasn't just all entirely people jeeting out. We do know everyone tends to kind of leave the market when Bitcoin goes down. Bitcoin, as always, the king of the market, still moves the market in unison with it, right? So we do want to kind of decouple ourselves from Bitcoin essentially in a way, because we don't always want Bitcoin affecting the price of all our altcoins. But for now, we're a bit of a slave to Bitcoin, right? So we have to deal with that. But like I said, guys, short term, we're bouncing off key levels here as well. So we had a wick down here to the 0.00415, like we said on the hourly time frame, and that was also a key level on the daily time frame. Maybe you could say it was a bit lower, but regardless, it's pretty much the same level that we did bounce off on. And like I said, I love this charting pattern with the Morningstar reversal here on the daily, and we do need to take advantage of it now. So if we get some bullish momentum happening with Bitcoin, and like I said, there was great Zebec Network news just coming out just then on their X account with all the AML, KYC kind of compliance things happening with the space. I think, we'll see a little bit of chop, slow growth, and it's only a matter of time before we reach those levels again where we get to real price discovery region. But we do need to really reclaim this level of 0.058. So that's the level I really want to reclaim again, anticipating a slow rise there over the next week or two. And then at this level, we're going to see our next point of resistance, in which I think, guys, if we explode past that, that's when you take a long trade. Not financial advice, but these are the key levels you want to look out for when you're trading ZBCN. Obviously, there's no reason to take a trade in this part now because people get greedy. People get high leverage positions in positions that don't even make sense. So you need to trade the trends that are happening at the moment. And at the moment, there's no clear trend with ZBCN. Yes, on the daily time frame, we have an uptrend, right? We have a bullish trend. But right now, short term, I wouldn't be trading this at all unless we break this 0.0058 again and comfortably do so. Things for ZBCN looking absolutely phenomenal at the moment, in my opinion. Like I said last video, it's simply just a DCA opportunity, which is dollar cost averaging. Just if you have a spare bit of money and you like ZBCN, it's just time to chip away and start stacking, right? In my opinion, guys. So if you enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, join the free Telegram in the links down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.